kuchukua baby girl. So before that my in-laws walivokuja wakashika my baby girl wakamwangalia. Then sister, sasa ni mavia wangu mkubwa, the sister of my mother-in-law mkubwa akasema there is something wrong with this baby. Sijui amerushiwa those things za kurushiwa zile. Sikuwa najua because I'm a first time mom. Thank you, Ray. First time mom, so I didn't know anything about that. Sasa my mom, my sister na jirani wakachukua my baby girl, they took her kwa mama huyu wa kienyeji, akapewa hizo dawa za kienyeji. I think I delivered tuko 2024, that is last year mwezi wa saba, that is 22nd July. That's when my babies came about, boy and a girl. And at first we experienced a lot of things, my husband and I, because they came through C-section. I had some complications kinda, and I spent like a whole month at the hospital because I had to take care of both of them at the HDU. So hey, my baby boy, so my girl was Leerah and my boy was Leeroy. And Leeroy had thanks Hefe. Leeroy had too much complications because ilisemekana Leeroy alikuwa amevuta the amniotic fluid akizaliwa. So there were some difficulties in breathing, but the girl tried. The girl was a bit okay, but all went well. We got out of the hospital, went home. That was after a month. So we stayed. They were well, though tiny, but as days went by, the kids grew strong. Walikuwa na mwili, they were healthy. Tukamaliza all the vaccines zote zenye. Oh, Mom Lynn, wewe ni mama twins pia, congratulations. So tulimaliza hizo vaccines zote. So till when we went kwa the last vaccine, then I noticed like their weight ilikuwa imeanza kushuka chini. The weight was constant, like the previous month and this month the weight ilikuanga tu hapo. So I wonder imeanza kushuka chini, the weight. No, the weight was constant, like the previous month and this month the weight ilikuanga tu hapo. So I wondered, now my kids had been gaining weight ile rate ya haraka because they stopped breastfeeding at 3 weeks. So we were doing supplements, some non-iso. And then I talked to my husband. I told him like, this weight thing haiko vile ambavyo inafaa kukua, like the growth. Tukasema pengine ni ile machine walitumia, because the place where I used to go for clinics ilikuanga imezingirwa na a lot of there was water kila mahali. So my babies walianza kuwa gonja, they started ailing, and I could not notice because excuse me, when you're with them you cannot see what's happening with the kids, because umezoea watoto all the time, you're with the kids, so you cannot notice any difference with them. And we thought it was the normal ugonjwa za watoto ya kawaida tu, maybe babies tu ile kuumwa kawaida. And then they were teething pia, they started teething. So kumbe wanapunguza mwili, but we are not noticing. So the problem, it started with the boy. No, started, yeah, with the boy. Then they were diarrheaing, both of them. But now wanapishana. Today ni huyu, kesho ni huyu. Then tukaenda hospital. So tukakuwa hospital, in and out, in and out. A hospital sana. But in and out, in and out. A hospital sana. But doctors wakiangalia, they find it's like it's a normal thing. The babies are teething, kitu kama hiyo. And we tried dawa zote paka I was telling them kama ni hizi dawa mnatuandikia, then we have the medicine. So the babies responded quite well. They were okay. But again, now the way they used to feed, in fact my boy alikuwa anapenda kukula sana. But now he's not feeding, and then anatapika. Akikula anatapika all the time. Then my girl came again, kutapika pia all the time. So there was a day I was out. Because they're not breastfeeding, so poa sana Bushman. Poa sana. So there was a day I was out. I talked to my husband. Wifi, thank you. Thank you for the roses. Asante. Asante. So wow. That day when I was out, sikuamua kuchukua baby girl. So before that, my in-laws walivokuja wakashika my baby girl, wakamwangalia. Then sister, sasa ni mavia wangu mkubwa, the sister of my mother-in-law mkubwa akasema there is something wrong with this baby. Sijui amerushiwa those things za kurushiwa zile. Sikuwa najua because I'm a first time mom. Thank you, Ray. First time mom, so I didn't know anything about that. Sasa my mom, my sister na jirani wakachukua my baby girl, they took her kwa mama huyu wa kienyeji, akapewa hizo dawa za kienyeji kujioshaosha. Then my sister took her and went to stay with her for 2 to 3 days. I would call, video call. The father would call, video call too. But now I could not sleep even in the room enye nilikuwa niko nao because of hiyo woga, and then like I could feel presence yake. So on 19th, yeah, exactly what I was told. So on 19th my sister akapiga simu kwamba my daughter ameanza pia na yeye. So nikaambiwa sijui mila pia sifai kushika mtoto kama mimi ndo nimefiwa. So when my sister came, I was the first person outside because I'm the mother. Najua that gap, I feel the pain. Now my daughter again is sick. So when I held my daughter, I noticed face yake imefura, but watu hawanielewi because nilikuwa nimeambiwa hadi nilikuwa nimeanza kuchizi. So I would have the mental lapse and everything. But I noticed my daughter was not okay. Nikaambia my sister apeleke hospitali haraka. Then took my daughter to the hospital. But when they go there, even with the father had come. When they go there, wakaambiwa the daughter was okay. Like my daughter hakuna kitu ambayo alifanywa. So wakaambiwa since she's okay, but alikuwa amekuwa the feeding pipe because alikuwa ameanza pia na yeye the whistling. Alikuwa ameanza. Akaambiwa akapelekwa ward in the evening, then akaambiwa atalala hapo till in the morning, then she'll be discharged. So when I called my husband, akaambia how is my girl? They video called. I saw my girl, but I noticed the differences. I noticed how my daughter was, the tumbo imefura, the stomach, the navel had swollen, the face, the feet. So I wanted to go to the hospital. No, I'm not from Luo. I'm a Luya. I'm a Luya. I'm not from Luo. Yeah. So uh, the hands, the feet had swollen. When I told them like I wanted to go to the hospital to see my daughter because I was trying to pressure my husband. Tell the doctor angalie mtoto mahali fulani, angalie mtoto mahali fulani. Then nikaambiwa, my dad told me, no, you cannot go to the hospital. Then my dad called my husband, you should not video call, she's disturbing. Because nilikuwa I wasn't myself. Kidogo akili yangu ilikuwa imeruka. So that night my sister alibaki na mtoto. My husband came back. In the morning, my husband was to go to the hospital. Nikimpatia some clothes for the baby and for my sister. So when my husband came, alinipata nje. I was buying potato, viazi karai. Then my husband took me inside, akanambia go shower. Nikamuuliza, I shower saa 12, kwani am I smelling? Why are you forcing me to shower? Akabai potatoes, akalipia, akaongeza. We sat, we ate. Now I was telling him, you're getting late. My sister is waiting for you at the hospital. Then he went out to make a call, then came back again, then told me my daughter had passed just like that. So when my sister came, she said they were watching some cartoon, the normal way we used to do. Okay. Yeah, I understand something like that. Kama mtoto amerushiwa, you're not supposed to mtoto akirushiwa vitu, you're not supposed to do hiyo kudungwa sindano. Mtoto afai. Sorry. Yeah, so that was the thing. Ikakuwa ni hivyo, mtoto alipass. But hiyo kitu ambayo ilikuwa inasemekana is that the neck was sijui aje, and then inashika, it's as if mtoto anachomwa na diaper. Inakuwa kama nappy rash, something like that. But now ilikuwa iwezekani. So that was when everything happened. And my babies went just like that. For my boy, I felt it was too much for him. For my girl, I felt maybe it's because kwa sababu my girl alikuja akakuwa sawa. My girl was very much okay. Kwa sababu alikuwa already ashapewa the medicine, so she was okay. But now going to the hospital, I didn't know why all that happened. So after that, I had to go back to my place where I stay in Nakuru. Then I started having insomnia, mental lapse again. Now need drugs, evil, pole. At times you just see them, you can't sleep, you just feel the chills, you feel like they're there. It has been quite a process, just to summarize the whole story, because I'll be trying to get into details, into everything. So my baby, okay, the day they were buried, they were to turn 5 months, because they were buried on 22nd of December. Yeah, 22nd of December, and that was when they were to turn 5 months. So for us, we thought like it was all about teething, but the diarrhea thing, the green diarrhea, the everything, the pain. The week also, and they passed. They had won we tried the baby Carson challenge. I think there's that picture. I will naona kwa that video. We tried the baby Carson challenge. Waka win the shoot. though they told me the challenge was over, but wamependa the concept, so wakawin the shoot ambayo ilikuanga to happen. At first when I opened their TikTok, kuna mtu wa serikali aliwaona akapenda concept akawalipia sasa the shoot ambao tulifanya the concept ya Baby Castle. So when hiya Baby Castle alikuwa amepata, nikamwambia my boy amekufa, akaniambia then the girl anaweza fanya peke yake. When my girl passed, wakaniuliza wewe unaweza fanya wewe concept peke yako? Nikamwambia siko kwa hiyo mood ya kufanya such concept. So the thing that kept us wondering was like hizi vitu za kurushwa, and my babies walikuwa si rahisi kuwatoa nje because nilijifungua when they were so tiny, but when wali grow ndo nilianza kuwatoa at the age of I think 3 months. Sasa tukienda kumalizia the vaccines, so it just happened that way. So weirdly it has taken a lot of work, I can say, especially to my husband, because we were both of us ambao we've lost.
I think internet yake imeharibika, and I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Came again kutapika pia all the time. So there was a day I was out, because they're not breastfeeding, so poa sana Bushman, poa sana. So there was a day I was out, I talked to my husband. Wifi, thank you. Thank you for the roses. Asante. So wow. That day when I was out, since they're not breastfeeding, nilikuwa naweza kuacha at home. I leave them with my mom. My sister pia was there. Ama I look for house help for that day. So I just received a call that my daughter, the temperature was very high. So I had to send my sister, my elder sister, Sasa, to go home. Then when she went there, she told me everything was fine. They did what they could do, the temperature thing. So my baby girl, manze pole, nilisikia story. Tulishapoa, that's why we are here narrating it out. Tulishapoa, Pushpa. Asante. My regards to my cousin. Yeah. So nilipofika nyumbani, it was quite late because I had attended something. I got my kids. I held them. Pole sana, may God be with you. Amen. Asante, Angie. Thank you. So when I held my kids that day, they were crying too much. In fact, they had been crying all the night, ile kulia, until my father was like, nini mbana hawa watoto, I want to talk. Because okay, with me, I went to Mombasa kujifungua at my parents' place because sikuwa na mtu wa kunisaidia. So now when we are feeding them, wana puke. When we feed them, they're puking. Then I felt like there is something wrong. Then when I held my baby boy, I checked the diaper. Then I saw some traces of blood. So I told my mom, I can see blood. Okay, my mom thought like I was just seeing my own things. Thank you, Ray. And then she said that we should do a different diaper. Then my sister took my boy. I went to the chemist to get the zinc, some zinc medicine. I believe it's for diarrhea. So when I came, I gave the medicine to my kids, and it choked my boy. And when it choked my boy, that was the beginning of everything. So he started coughing and crying. And when my sister checked the diaper again, saw the same traces of blood. Then now it was a hospital thing. So we took my son to the nearest hospital. That was in the night at around it was at around midnight. So my girl remained at home. We took my son. Thank you. We took my son to the hospital. When I got there, the doctor said, if you guys have some insurance thing, you have to take him to Coast General. So I just told my sister to go back home, get the books and everything, as I rushed to the hospital with my son. So asante. So I took a boda. I held my son, covered him. So my son was just giving me some eyes, like he really wanted like to give a certain message, but I could not understand. So we rushed to Coast General in the night. I was also talking to the father on call. All through the way, I was just praying. But now, my son was whistling. He was just whistling. I said, just like that, non-stop. So I got to the hospital. He was received. My sister came. A friend of mine came. I was asked to stay outside. So all along with the doctors knew what they were doing. I don't know. But with me, I was familiar with the machine, the machine which is there. I was familiar with it because I knew how to operate it when I was with them at the HDU. Wakiwa sasa ndo nimewazaa sasa. Thank you, Petty. So it seemed strange. I tried calling everyone who used to pray with me. That day, no one picked my calls. Even a friend of mine who does not put her phone on silent mode, that day the phone was silent. So then just something told me in my heart, hey Leo, wingu lako limefika, it's your cloud today. But now when I went there, my son was just looking at me inside that the mask. Was just there looking at me while still whistling. When I look at the machine, I can see the oxygen rate is okay. But something was worrying, the blood pressure thing. So I started Googling the average blood pressure for kids. I asked the doctor, what about this, the rate of the blood pressure? At first, they could not find any vein, kuweka maji, because my son alikuwa tayari ameanza kufura, so they could not get any vein. They pricked everywhere, the head, the neck, no vein. So now the doctor told my friend, now since my sister and I tulikuwa tuko nje, so the doctor told my friend to hold my baby's leg and they insert a needle direct to the bone marrow, I think. So I couldn't imagine the pain my son felt to that extent, because he was not even reacting to anything. I went back, I looked at him, still whistling, but now getting cold slowly. I called the father. The father spoke to him. He was responding because nilikuwa nimewazoesha ku video call na babake sababu tulikuwa tuko mbali mbali. So they used to video call their father. They were familiar. It was there, but now the drip tukaambiwa anafaa kufanywa blood transfusion because now it was getting cold and he was convulsing, something like that too. So I thought he was feeling cold. I took some covers. I covered him up, but he was still whistling. So my friend went to remain with my sister, but now at the emergency we had to be inside at intervals. Unaingia after some time, pia anaingia like that. Kafika point I told the doctor, I don't understand the blood pressure thing. So my baby's fingers were cold. I held the fingers together. I had covered him. I think kwa video mumeona I had masked the mask and nimemfunika hivi by side. That time he was still okay. Then the doctors told us we should bring the sister since pia yeye kidogo alikuanga ko sick kiasi. So when tukaambiwa, I called my mom, then said we'll bring the girl in the morning. That was 17th December, if I'm not wrong, last year. My mom came. So when my baby girl was put beside the brother, my baby boy stopped whistling. He kept quiet and he slept while breathing. He slept. So I was just checking. He was okay. He slept. Then I thought it was okay. So they took the girl, wakamwangalia pia msichana, wakaona everything was okay, the oxygen, the blood, everything was okay. But now I opened ile shit kwa nimefunika my baby boy, and the urine was not urine. It was some pus, any kitu you cannot understand. So when I kept on checking at that machine, I knew something was not right. I gave my sister the girl and I called the doctors together with my mom because my boy was my mom's favorite. Mamangu alipenda sana kijana because hana mtoto mvulana, so alipenda sana. And I saw my son, the eyes were open na ameingizwa the pipe. The one for sanctioning. But her react, hata ile when you do like this, he's not reacting towards anything. So nikatolewa nje. I was told to sit outside. My mom remained there. Kumbe my sister alikuwa ashaambiwa kwamba the doctors were just doing their things, but they knew like my son was not going to make it. But my sister didn't tell me. So I called my husband. I told him, vile mi naona like we should not have hopes. Then the friend that we normally used to pray together called. I told her, my son, sahi ni Mungu tu. So when my friend was praying, I told her, don't waste your energy. Don't even pray. Imeisha, like nimeamua, nimekubali, it's okay. So when I got back inside, they had put hizi nanyo za kuamsha mtu akitaka kukufa. The machine, wamekuwa wamemweka kwa chest. My son is not reacting. Then I told the doctor, I can see he's turning pale. Bado amemwacha the mask still on. So wakaambia he's turning pale. Then the doctor said that because they're using the gloves, the gloves are normally dusted, so iko na inamfanya akuwe pale. Nikamwambia mimi si mjinga. You just tell me what is happening. My mom too. My mom told the doctor I'm a parent, so just tell me what is happening. Then that's when the doctor said my son was normal. Yeah. That was 17th in the morning when my son passed. So you were asked my daughter, sijui kulingana na mambo na mila, the twins hawafai kukua kwa the same house ambayo kuna matanga. So sistangu mkubwa, our second born, akaamua kuchukua baby girl. So before that my in-laws walivokuja wakashika my baby girl wakamwangalia. Then sister, sasa ni mavia wangu mkubwa, the sister of my mother-in-law mkubwa akasema there is something wrong with this baby. Sijui amerushiwa those things za kurushiwa zile. Sikuwa najua because I'm a first time mom. Thank you. First time mom, so I didn't know anything about that. Sasa my mom, my sister na jirani wakachukua my baby girl, they took her kwa mama huyu wa kienyeji, akapewa hizo dawa za kienyeji kujioshaosha. Then my sister took her and went to stay with her for 2 to 3 days. I would call, video call. The father would call, video call too. But now I could not sleep even in the room enye nilikuwa niko nao because of hiyo woga, and then like I could feel presence yake. So on 19th, yeah, exactly what I was told. So on 19th my sister akapiga simu kwamba my daughter ameanza pia na yeye. So nikaambiwa sijui mila pia sifai kushika mtoto kama mimi ndo nimefiwa. So when my sister came, I was the first person outside because I'm the mother. Najua that gap, I feel the pain. Now my daughter again is sick. So when I held my daughter, I noticed face yake imefura, but watu hawanielewi because nilikuwa nimeambiwa hadi nilikuwa nimeanza kuchizi. So I would have the mental lapse and everything. But I noticed my daughter was not okay. Nikaambia my sister apeleke hospitali haraka. Then took my daughter to the hospital. But when they go there, even with the father had come. When they go there, wakaambiwa the daughter was okay. Like my daughter hakuna kitu ambayo alifanywa. So wakaambiwa since she's okay, but alikuwa amekuwa the feeding pipe because alikuwa ameanza pia na the whistling. Alikuwa ameanza. Akaambiwa akapelekwa ward in the evening, then akaambiwa atalala hapo till in the morning, then she'll be discharged. So when I called my husband, akaambia how is my girl? They video called. I saw my girl, but I noticed the differences. I noticed how my daughter was, the tumbo imefura, the stomach, the navel had swollen, the face, the feet. So I wanted to go to the hospital. No, I'm not from Luo. I'm a Luya. I'm not from Luo. Yeah, so the hands, the feet had swollen. When I told them like I wanted to go to the hospital, to see my daughter because I was trying to pressure my husband. Tell the doctor, angalie mtoto mahali fulani, angalie mtoto mahali fulani. Then nikaambiwa, my dad told me, no, you cannot go to the hospital. Then my dad called my husband, you should not video call, she's disturbing. Because I wasn't myself. Kidogo akili yangu ilikuwa imeruka. So that night my sister alibaki na mtoto. My husband came back. In the morning my husband was to go to the hospital nikimpatia some clothes for the baby and for my sister. So when my husband came, alinipacha nje. I was buying potato, viazi karai. Then my husband took me inside akanambia go shower. Nikamuuliza, I shower saa 12 kwani am I smelling? Why are you forcing me to shower? Akabai potatoes, akalipia, akaongeza. We sat, we ate. Now I was telling him, you're getting late. My sister is waiting for you at the hospital. Then he went out to make a call, then came back again, then told me my daughter had passed just like that. So when my sister came, she said they were watching some cartoon, the normal way we used to do. Okay. Yeah, I understand something like that. Kama mtoto amerushiwa, you're not supposed to mtoto akirushiwa vitu, you're not supposed to do hiyo kudungwa sindano. Mtoto afai. Sorry. Yeah, so